Let's have a go at this exam style question. The question says, Figure 1 is a graph showing the trend in type 2 diabetes. Suggest why there are more people with type 2 diabetes in Western Europe than there are globally. And that's worth 2 marks. Now, the command word in this question is the word suggest. Just underline that. So this is an application question, and it's testing your ability to explain a trend shown in the graph by using your knowledge and understanding of type 2 diabetes and risk factors linked to type 2 diabetes. So what other important information does the question provide? Well, the question also states that there are more people with type 2 diabetes in Western Europe than there are globally. Now, this is the trend shown in the graph, and so for this question, we don't need to describe the trend shown by the graph, we actually need to explain it. Now, although we don't need to describe the trend in the graph, let's just have a quick look at the graph, because it's always important to think about all the information provided in a question and then decide whether it's relevant for the answer. So, on the x-axis, we can see time in years, and then on the y-axis, we can see the number of cases up here per 100,000. Now there's also a key over here, okay, and that tells us what these lines are. So the continuous line, which is along here, is the actual cases, and when we get to the dotted line along here, that's the predicted number of cases. Now the graph also provides 2 sets of data. So you've got this top one here is for Western Europe, and the bottom one is for the global data, so it's the rest of the world. Now, if you look at the graph, you can see that across the whole of all of the years that are recorded, Western Europe has a higher number of cases per 100,000 than globally, and that's quite a significant difference there. So the question is asking us to suggest why, or in other words, give a reason why this might be. So we need to draw on our existing knowledge and understanding to explain why there are more cases of type 2 diabetes in Western Europe compared to globally. Now, you should remember that non-communicable diseases are often caused by the interaction of a number of risk factors. And for type 2 diabetes, the main risk factor is obesity. And you should also know that obesity is linked to having an unhealthy diet. So with this information in mind, we could deduce that people in Western Europe have a more unhealthy diet compared to average, which means that they're more likely to be obese and therefore more likely to develop type 2 diabetes. So let's have a go at putting this into a written answer. And I'm going to write people in Western Europe have a more unhealthy diet than average. And so, there's my linking word, and so they are more likely to be obese and develop type 2 diabetes. The first mark here would be for stating that people in Western Europe have a more unhealthy diet, and the second mark would be for linking the unhealthy diet to obesity and diabetes.